Every good build starts with a plan, and mine had big goals. Turn minivan into tiny home on wheels, go fully electric, fit kitchen inside, make the build modular, and still leave room for my dog nap zone. This episode breaks down the design thinking behind my DIY minivan camper. Ever tried planning a trip with a 10-pound boss who refuses to stay in hotels and hates flying? That's Toby, our toy poodle, and the reason our entire approach to travel had to change. When he joined the family a few years ago, we quickly ran into roadblocks. Most hotels aren't truly pet-friendly, and don't even get me started on airplanes. Stressful for pets, expensive, and half the time you're not even sure if they'll let your furry co-pilot on board. So with all those limitations, we needed a new way to travel, one that worked for all of us, including the four-legged boss in the back seat. I started looking into RVs and trailers. But let's be honest, towing something the size of a small house over mountain passes? That sounded stressful and expensive. Gas, maintenance, insurance, it all adds up fast. I needed something simpler, one vehicle, something I could use for my daily commute during the week and then escape into nature by Friday night without a huge production. That's when I stumbled on some amazing YouTube minivan conversions. Shout out to Bruce Parks and Eric Enjoys Earth. Their builds gave me the inspiration I needed. I chose the Toyota Sienna because it's roomy, reliable, and doesn't scream weekend warrior when parked at the grocery store. Before I picked up a single tool, I made a plan. I wanted my camper build to meet 5 big goals. First of all, it had to be self-contained, meaning everything I need is inside the van. I also wanted it to be removable, so I could take everything out when I wasn't traveling, especially in winter. Additionally, it needed to be modular, so if something broke or needed an upgrade, I could swap just that part out. My goal was to go fully electric, no propane, no flames, no surprises while cooking inside the van. And of course, the whole build had to work within the limited space of a minivan, which meant a lot of creative problem solving. Let me break each one down for you. Let's start with being self-contained. I noticed a lot of van builds put the kitchen in the back. And sure, that looks cool until it starts raining, or you're parked on a busy street, and suddenly you're that person cooking stir-fry next to someone's mailbox. So I built my kitchen inside the van. It's weatherproof and stealth-friendly. Win-win. Now, about the toilet. I get it, not the most glamorous part of van life, but when you're stealth camping in a parking lot at 2 a.m., it becomes very important very fast. Most minivans skip the toilet because of space. I made it work anyway. Trust me, future me is already grateful. One of the biggest priorities for me was keeping the build non-permanent, because this isn't just a camper, it's also my everyday vehicle. I travel seasonally, so I didn't want a setup that locked me into van life all year round. Between trips, I sometimes need the full interior space, whether it's for hauling gear, commuting to work, or just picking up a bunch of stuff from the hardware store. That's why everything in the build is fully removable. I can strip out the entire camper setup and reinstall the original seats in about an hour. No permanent mods, no headaches. During the spring to fall travel season, the camper stays installed. But when the season winds down, I simply pull everything out and the Sienna goes right back to being a regular minivan. And here's a bonus. Since nothing is permanently attached, I can easily transfer the whole setup to another van in the future, or sell the Sienna without losing all the work I put in. Now let's talk modular design. No build is perfect. Things break, upgrades happen, and I didn't want to redo the whole van every time I wanted to change one piece. So I split everything into separate modules. The bed, the sink, the fridge and table, the stove and toilet, even the electrical system. They're all standalone units that work together, but can be removed or replaced one at a time. That also made the build process way easier. I could focus on one module at a time instead of tackling everything all at once. And why all-electric cooking? At first, I considered using propane for cooking, but after crouching inside the van for a bit, I realized small space, limited headroom, open flame, yeah, not a great combo. So I switched to a fully electric setup. Everything runs on solar power. There's a big 400-watt panel mounted on the roof, plus I've got foldable panels that give me another 200 watts when needed. And while I'm driving, the system charges from the car alternator. It all feeds into 2 batteries that hold about 3,300 watt-hours of energy. That's plenty of power for cooking, lights, fans, and charging devices, even when it's cloudy. Finally, let's talk about space. Because with a minivan, every inch counts. Some clearances came down to just 1/4 of an inch. Seriously. One of the hardest parts was fitting the electrical module between the passenger sliding door and the bed. I even had to curve the countertop to match the door shape. Tight? Absolutely, but it fits perfectly. So that's the overview of how I approached the design phase, and why planning ahead saved me from a ton of headaches later. If you enjoyed this breakdown, go ahead and like, share, and subscribe. There's a lot more coming. In the next episode, we'll dive into the floor, the base for everything. I'll show you how I designed the layout, dealt with seat hardware challenges, secured everything to the van's frame, and why I believe vinyl flooring is the real MVP. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in episode 2.